Hey, it's Chuck. If you've ever gotten a call from school that your kid is being bullied, and the conversation ended with someone explaining that the child doing the bullying probably has a hard home life, probably feels bad about themselves, probably just needs more support, and you drove home feeling like your kid's safety just got deprioritized for somebody else's psychology, then this one's for you. Let's dive into it. That explanation sounds compassionate, but it's also not what the research says. The gap between those two things is doing real damage to the children who need the adults to get this right. Dr. Jaana Juvonen at UCLA has spent decades studying how bullying actually functions in school social environments. What her research consistently shows is that kids who bully are frequently not the ones struggling socially. They're often among the most socially connected kids in the room. They understand the peer landscape. They know who has status and who doesn't. They know who they can target and what it costs them to do it. Dr. Juvonen's research points to something more specific than cruelty for cruelty's sake. These kids are wired to read the social room accurately, and they've learned that targeting someone below them in the pecking order produces a result: more status, more deference, more control over who belongs and who doesn't. The empathy that would normally put the brakes on this behavior isn't firing the way it does in most kids, and so the reward is real and the internal cost is low. And that's a very different problem than a child who doesn't feel good about themselves. That distinction matters because a child who bullies out of insecurity needs connection and confidence. A child who bullies because the empathy is missing and the dominance rewards them actually needs clear consequences, consistent accountability, and direct work on perspective taking. And those are not the same interventions. Running the wrong one doesn't just fail, it signals to the child doing the bullying that the behavior doesn't carry any real costs, which means it continues. But it also puts the child being targeted in an impossible situation. When the school's response centers on the bully's internal experience, their home, their struggles, their need for support, the implicit message to your kid is be patient, be kind, give it time. That's a lot to ask for a child who's being systematically targeted while the adults around them are busy excusing the person doing it. Here's what you can do with that. Step 1, if your child is being bullied, change the question you're asking the school. Not, what's going on with the child at home? That's their job to figure out separately. Your question is, what is the specific plan to stop this pattern and keep my kid safe right now? Those are two very, very different conversations, and you're entitled to the second one regardless of what's being done about the first one. Step 2, if your child is the one doing the bullying, resist the instinct to explain it away. The discomfort of that phone call, that's real, but explaining it away is exactly what lets that behavior continue. The most useful thing that you can do is to get honest, get help, and hold the behavior accountable without letting the shame about it pull you into denial. Trust me when I say the kid can change, but not if no one names what's actually happening. I'm Chuck, the bald therapist. Work on you. Big no bullshit. At home or in the schoolyard. Remember that you matter, and have a gentle rest of your day.